Have always been one of the best classes for both PvP and PvE in classic World of Warcraft, and this remains true in Season of Discovery. Just for PvP alone, rogues are getting a ranged kidney shot and a ranged slow ability that's reminiscent of outlaw rogues if you've ever played retail. This solves one of the rogues' biggest issues when fighting other players, and that was if someone ever got out of range of you, rogues turned from the predator to the prey. There was very little to do to close the gap, and that issue has been completely solved with these abilities. As for PvE, rogues have always been able to choose between daggers and swords as how they want to deal incredible damage. The strongest single rune that rogues have seen so far is one that reduces the energy of their backstab and ambush abilities by a whopping 20 energy. That rune itself is one of the strongest runes we've seen this entire season. They also get a new double dagger playstyle with Mutilate. This hits with both of your daggers at the same time and pairs with the Deadly Brew and Envenom runes to jump up the rogue's damage. Sword and Mace rogues can use both of those runes as well and gain the new hard-hitting ability called Saber Slash. But rogues aren't pigeonholed to just being a DPS class anymore. Rogue tanks were used in Hardcore Classic to dodge all of the attacks on bosses like Vesuvius or Patchwork in Naxxramas, and that playstyle is exactly translated to the new rogue tanking in Season of Discovery. Like the other tanks, rogues get their very own taunt. But unlike other tanks, rogues prefer to actually not be hit at all. Instead, all of the rogues' tanking abilities increase their avoidance, with things like parry and dodge getting so strong even that at level 60 and the current runes in the game right now, you can hit over 100% avoidance with all world buffs. This means that quite literally, rogue tanks would never get hit by any of the boss's melee swings and only take damage from things like magical spells. The biggest flaws rogues have currently is their lack of AoE abilities. They are purely single target class, especially at level 25, but I would wager that Blizzard intends to change that as we learn new spells moving towards max level. So with that in mind, rogues are a very strong pick, especially if you want to do both PvP and PvE. By now, you've probably heard that warlocks can turn into giant demon tanks in Season of Discovery. Warlocks as a class are probably getting the biggest changes